We've decided to take over the management of the house moving forward. It's best if you start looking for another place to live. My brother, his wife, and my mother are in agreement about this decision, although I've been the one covering the living expenses all along. It seems they don't realize the role I've been playing. It's surprising they'd be so disrespectful. In my head, I decided to take action. I'm Isla, a 30-year-old woman living with my parents after college. I tried to make it in the outside world, but found it tough. Initially, I searched for jobs while getting unemployment benefits. Later, I discovered remote work and became a freelance engineer, using my scientific skills. Starting with small projects, I earned modest income but gained valuable experience. Working from home allowed me to make enough money without dealing with people too much, boosting my confidence. I progressed steadily, taking on larger projects, and my income grew. After a year, I earned as much as a regular company employee. The issue is my parents, especially my old-fashioned mother, struggle to understand my work-from-home setup. Despite my detailed explanations, my father gets it, but my mother fears what she doesn't understand. No matter how many times I emphasized my commitment to my job, my mother would say things like, "How long will you stay home?" I initially thought it was for your mental health, but it's been over 2 years, you should try working outside more. Despite my sincere explanations, she didn't quite grasp it. She often suspected my online work, saying, "You're just doing something online." How could I make her understand? Even with emails from clients and my salary statements, she wouldn't accept my lifestyle. She went as far as suggesting, "Isn't it some shady business or a weird religion you're into?" That's not true. I receive regular payments, and it's a reliable job, I explained, but she wouldn't budge, worrying endlessly about the possibility of it being unemployment benefits. I had thought about living on my own, but I hadn't saved enough money yet. Around that time, my father needed nursing care due to deteriorating health. He retired early, facing a sudden loss of income. When I expressed concern, he reassured me, "Oh Isla, I've got my pension, I'll make it work." Considering my mother's spending habits, I asked, "Are you sure you can handle it?" Regardless, we had to manage with our savings. My father looked tired, perhaps feeling anxious about the future. He supported me financially through college and even when I returned home due to mental health issues. Is it a good idea to leave my father alone and live on my own? My mother was also puzzled by my father's sudden condition, wanting to give back. I decided to stay home and support the family. "Don't worry, Dad, I'll take care of things from now on." "Oh really?" my surprised father questioned. "But I can't imagine you have that much income." "Don't worry, Dad, my current income is stable," I reassured him. I showed my bank account information. Since my father always understood my situation, I believed he would be convinced. "Isla, I didn't know you were so solid," he remarked. "Yeah, my income has improved lately. Can you help us out a little?" "Of course, you've done so much for us, so I'll support you from now on," I assured my father. This commitment led me to cover the living expenses. My father's medical bills and other costs. Every month, I transferred a set amount to my father's bank account to assist with household expenses. I created a new main card for my mother and gave her a supplementary card, as she'd been using my father's credit card. Both my father and I saved money whenever possible, urging my mother to do the same. However, my mother, still suspicious about my support, suggested kicking me out of the house. My father, recognizing my financial contribution, convinced her it would be harder without me. Reluctantly, she agreed to let me live with them. I continued working while helping at home, but my mother took my assistance for granted and became strict. "Can't you finish your chores faster?" "Sorry, it's not easy. I'm working at the same time." "You keep saying that, but is it really that difficult?" My mother didn't understand, and our relationship became increasingly strained. My father understood my efforts, and we lived this way for a year. However, after a year, he fell ill and had to be hospitalized. I visited him daily. "Hey Dad, how are you today?" "Thank you, Isla. It doesn't seem to be improving, but I hope it's less of a burden for you." "Don't think that way. Taking care of you wasn't a burden. But I know you and Mom haven't been getting along." After my father's hospitalization, my relationship with my mother worsened. Living with her felt suffocating, but I still wanted to support both my parents as a family. I cherished memories of my mother making my lunchbox and putting effort into dinner when I was a student. However, my perspective changed when my brother Max and his wife Laura unexpectedly arrived one day. My mother seemed to have invited them without telling me. My brother announced, "We're going to live here now." I was shocked and asked why. He explained, "Mom was worried. She thought it might be tough for you to live here alone while Dad's not around." Surprised, I turned to my mother, but she avoided eye contact. My brother added, "We'll support you, Isla." His wife, however, hinted at something more with a smirk. My mother stated, "Thanks, both of you, Isla. Be prepared to contribute, otherwise it might be hard for you to stay in this house." The situation with my brother and his wife being invited to our house was unexpected. My brother, with a degree from a prestigious college, worked for a solid company, presumably earning a good salary. However, I was also dedicated to my work. Could they manage without me? A new chapter of living together began. Living with them turned out to be more challenging than I thought. "Isla, why aren't you up yet? Wake up and make breakfast." My brother's wife yelled, banging on my door. "I'm already up. I'm working early." I was fully awake and in work mode as a morning person. This was my most focused time of the day, and I wanted to spend it without any disturbances. "Really? Then get on with it and get breakfast ready. Do I have to make everything by myself?" Our family usually had a relaxed morning, eating when and what we wanted with my mother and brother's wife at home. I thought it was normal for her to prepare breakfast. She insisted, "We're living together, so we need to cooperate, right?" Reluctantly, I helped prepare breakfast, but they weren't satisfied. "Is this all you made? This isn't enough." I had prepared soft scrambled eggs, a lettuce salad, buttered toast, and a juicy sausage. A decent breakfast, I thought. Did I miss something? "If you don't want it, you don't have to eat it." They looked surprised at this response. "What's with that attitude? Who do you think you are? This is unacceptable. You should help with the housework." "But I have work to do too." "Work, really? I can't believe it. What kind of work is that? Are you crazy?" My brother and his wife questioned and scolded me. My brother, influenced by my mother, tended to look down on me and make fun of me. Despite this, my work time was precious. I headed to my room, packed my laptop, and left the house. "Wait, where are you going?" Ignoring my brother's voice, I went straight to my father's hospital room. He looked surprised as I entered. "Isla, what's wrong? You seem flustered." I explained the situation, and my father expressed surprise. "I didn't know." "I'm sorry, Isla. Don't worry about it. You can choose your own way of life." Feeling lost, I thought about my mother's comfort with Max at home. My father reassured me, "You don't need to stay where you're not comfortable. I want you to live happily, so live your life the way you want to." "Thank you, Father." Encouraged by my father, I decided to leave home. When I returned in the evening, a tense scene awaited me. My mother, brother, and sister-in-law looked serious. "Where were you, brother? Weren't you at work? I had to take the day off because of you." "How could you take a day off for such a reason?" Internally, I was surprised at how easily my brother took time off work. Wasn't that too irresponsible? Gradually, my brother and his wife's voices grew more heated. "Get out of here," he declared. "Why?" I asked. "Isla, from now on, the three of us will live together. If you don't want to stay, please leave. We don't need your overbearing presence to support us." They attempted to kick me out of the house. "Isla, that's enough. Enough. You don't need to be here now that your father is gone." Strangely, my mother echoed my brother and his wife, treating me as a hindrance. Did she comprehend my financial contributions to the family, despite her monthly purchases of branded goods? What would she do when her allowance was reduced? I felt furious. No matter how many times I explained, my mother, brother, and sister-in-law ignored my story. It was getting unbearable, so I decided to employ a little trick. First, I transferred the money from the bank account linked to my mother's credit card to another account under my management. I hoped this would surprise her when she could no longer use her credit card. Additionally, I moved some funds from my father's account, which had been supporting the family finances. Similarly, only my father's medical expenses could be covered from his separate account, unknown to my mother. Consequently, a significant portion of the family's financial responsibility now rested on my brother and his wife. Not knowing the details of my brother's income, I was certain he would now feel the burden more than ever. After completing all the necessary formalities, I packed my belongings and declared, "I'm leaving this place." My mother, brother, and sister-in-law looked surprised at my words. Despite their constant harassment, they didn't anticipate that I would actually take action. But as I observed their expressions, it seemed like they were enjoying the situation. "You're finally leaving. I've never seen such a troublesome person. You won't be coming back with you." Their relentless belittling was unbelievable. "Of course not. Don't contact me." They smiled as I left. But what would they think after I departed? Internally, I smiled and embarked on a new life. My new home was peaceful, allowing me to savor my own time and concentrate on my work. As expected, one day I received a call from my brother. "I told you not to contact me. What's wrong?" His voice conveyed surprise and urgency. "Oh, that. Yes, that's right. Why are you asking now? Why didn't you tell me?" "We had no idea." "Well, I did mention several times that I was working, but neither you nor Mom believed me, right?" Well, Mom said a lot of things, and I was a little confused, so that's not my fault, right?" "Right, no, it's not. But I'm having a problem with money. Mom's been spending quite a bit, and on top of that, we haven't been able to pay the house utilities and stuff." "Yes, I was able to do it because I was supporting you in so many ways. I'm not home anymore, so you have to do it, Isla. I need your help to transfer some money to my bank account." "What? I beg you. Can you transfer some money over now?" "You must be joking. You're working for a big company, isn't that how you make a living?" "Well, actually, I got fired from that company." "What? Why?" My brother's reply left me speechless. I guessed correctly. My brother may have come back to my parents' house thinking that there was enough money in the house. He probably thought he would be able to get by with a solid pension coming in after my father retired. I wish to convey to my brother that I played a significant role in supporting the family finances despite appearing idle. The thought of the surprise on his face when he discovered that I was the one maintaining the household finances, assuming they were stable, brought a certain amusement. The same revelation awaited my brother's wife and mother. My brother's wife implored, "We need your help. We're running out of savings." My mother echoed, "Your father is really upset about this. He won't contribute to the household finances anymore. We're in a tough situation." I've supported you enough. You're all healthy, so work hard and support yourselves. I'll cheer you on, a frightened voice came through the phone. Reflect on your actions. I'm hanging up now. Don't contact me. But Isla, wait a minute. I distanced myself from my brother, his wife, and my mother. My father felt unable to return to his life with my mother, seeking legal advice and relocating to a different place. Fortunately, I could visit him daily. A friend updated me on my brother's recent situation. He then moved to a small apartment, living a frugal life. My mother, accustomed to homemaking, struggled with her newfound job. My brother, with his college confidence, found it challenging to adapt to younger staff's opinions in his part-time job, resulting in short-lived employment. Among them, my brother's wife was the sole provider, working diligently to support the family finances. However, it seemed the pressure became too much, and she eventually departed. Now, my brother and mother are reportedly working hard together despite their efforts. My mother's tendency to overspend persists, and her debts continue to mount. I am concerned for her, but unfortunately, I can no longer offer assistance. I am currently putting in a lot of effort into a comfortable living space. My income is gradually increasing, and I'm contemplating trying something new. I aspire to visit my father daily and spend more time with him to witness his cheerful smile.